Hi, my name is Naisha Braggs. I'm currently a student at Chattahoochee Technical College working towards an associate degree in early childhood development. I've been in the education sector for the past 5 years, from driving a school bus to a contracted substitute teacher to now being a full fledged teacher at a Catholic school, primarily focusing on after school care. I work with third graders all the way up to eighth grade, so it is a very wide dynamic. I also have a colleague who is my boss, and she works with pre K all the way up to second grade. So, a lot of the things that I researched in regards to teachers that teach or deal with infants and toddlers, I realized, hey, like we have actually used this ourselves and we don't even work with toddlers or infants. So I thought that was really interesting and cool. So let's just dive right in. And the first thing I'd like to say to teachers who do teach infants all the way through toddlers is, number one, you are not alone. Behind every educator, there's always a support team that ranges from family support to admin support to mental health specialists. There's always someone to support you. And I know at times in the heat of the moment, it may not feel that way, but there's always, always, always someone there who can maybe present a different perspective, maybe let you know about some resources you had no idea were in place. And I think that's a key thing, because it validates your feelings, and it also validates the student or the child, especially them beginning their education journey. So that is always something to keep in mind. The biggest takeaway is understanding that all behavior is communication, and that includes challenging behavior. And there are things that you can do that can preemptively address or proactively address challenging behaviors, therefore minimizing the occurrence that it may happen. So, coming up with a support plan, and then really taking a look at your teaching style and making it a little bit more personal or individualized for that student, because they may need a different avenue that you would take opposed to their peers, and that is okay. We all do not learn the same. So I think that's great to keep in mind too. When you do have when challenging behaviors do present themselves, always remember, in order to address it, it should be as positive as possible. And I know that is hard on some days, but it's okay to take a moment, take a breath. You're human, so it's okay. It is okay. So two key points when it comes to positive approaches to addressing challenging behaviors is focus on building social skills and establishing trust. It's human nature to pull away from someone you may not really know or have a sense of trust. So ask yourself, have I established a foundation for trust, not only with the child, but also with the family as well? And take a look at, maybe I can spend a little bit more one-on-one time with the child, or maybe when the child gets picked up, I can have more of an interaction with their parents and allow the student or the child to witness that encounter. Other things, like I said, recognize that all behavior is communication. So there are 3 steps that also kind of break down understanding behavior, and that is review, reflect, and observe. So when you're reviewing a child's behavior, ask yourself, could there be outside elements that are affecting this child, such as being hungry because they don't eat a lot at home, or maybe they're sleeping because they're sleepy because there is a lot going on at home. And those are things that are out of the child's control, but it's going to have a direct impact on how they behave in your class. So what I like to say is give a little bit of grace, and that kind of moves me to my other point of, are my expectations developmentally appropriate? And on top of that, are my expectations falling in line with the child's cognitive ability and where they're at? That's where a lot of frustration is going to present itself, is if you have these expectations, but maybe those expectations might suit a second grader or a fifth grader better than an infant and a toddler. When you go to reflect, think about the answers that you've answered these questions with, and kind of recenter yourself. If it is kind of like, ooh, you know what, an infant and a toddler is not really going to do that, and really being honest with yourself. And hey, maybe you're the one that's having a bad day, and that's okay. But realizing that you are is the first step to really addressing the challenging behavior in a positive way, because you're starting with the self, and that is infectious energy. So, taking that initiative with yourself. And then when you go to observe, kind of ask yourself, okay, I was a little heated. Maybe I do need to call a colleague into my class so that I can step out and take a breather. Or this is what I need to do to change my energy when I am encountering challenging behavior. And this is a support that I'm going to request from my support team, and going from there. Again, I appreciate you listening in. And remember, we are nothing but human beings. And sometimes that is hard on our best days. So give yourself grace, take a moment, and understand that if a child is demonstrating, challenging behavior, that's not who the child is. And thank you so much.